Okay, so, hold on a second. Oh, I brought them inside. Okay, so I would have put on those new glasses that, what's his name? For some reason, Ted Baker and Ted Nugent are like braided together in some like electrical wiring misfire in my Antonucci. I don't even know who a Ted Nugent is. Sounds like a nougat bar. I don't, but again, whatever. But sounds like it should be important. I don't know. So the, let's think about this. All right, here's the way that it works. Okay, so I'm the all-seeing eye. I know you guys have heard of that. Osiris is spelled OS for operating system, and then it's the word iris. Iris, oh, it's that color in the middle of your eye. Forget the pupil shape because mine changes. As it just did. Your circle pupils are what your operating system on this planet work off of. I think you can agree that everybody who ever looked in the eye when you weren't paying attention, that was recording you from their perspective as I, since you're like little robots with like a little hole in black dark matter that is interconnected to the universe somehow, and you don't think that in depth about it, right? Yeah, okay, so that's how this goes. So there's an operating system that runs your little whatever you tool around in, and you're either helpful or you're not. Currently, when I woke up 1978 from being the hidden queen and king of kingdom business and running the US department, being the US of skins, because it's, I said it, the unit stated it, that would be myself, and then my other units, being my whatever, depending on where they are in the world, ran around and did whatever was needed in order to correct our upcoming events, being our human arrival. We, at my level of genetics, said the way that we're going to explain this to you for the fellowship, FELLOWSHIP, is the current fellowship for several generations did not acknowledge by name, by partnership, by money, by political, by anything, my Caesar de Filippo and de Roya and Cataruzza side and any other names that go along with that for my direct lineage in, because that's the only one that we watch for the Osiris project, since they're the only anatomy that matters, along with the anatomy that brings God into the world is the anatomy that counts the most. Why a business office, being the United Kingdom, that runs, I would say, like, maybe their classification would be business office, like all the money-making criminals, right, they go through there. I read Elizabeth and Philip handle 15 criminal sub-organizations of commonwealths, which are also held really tight. That's where you get, like, the really, like, nervous people, like the paranoid people, and they kind of like that God was working on their behalf, meeting with each one of them separately and advising separately as their go-to. My advisor tells me, as my ambassador tells me, this is going on. Yeah, well, here's where your godly ambassador says is actually going on. Somewhere between the business office, being the shit schlock op that Philip is currently running for several generations with his bullshit team and family, along with Elizabeth and their bunch of liars, because God came in on two branches, her mother and father line, that we've been advising the world and the planet, that they have not, by political, by any kind of affiliation whatsoever, no money, they have nothing. They are as poor as can be on the God, the womb of the atomic clock, and the operator system of genetics that then quantumly strings in all of the other humans with the round pupils. That's why Goddess Nyx's pupils are not always round, because she's the atomic clock. There's a geonatology. It's geology and it's neonate. So that's your anatomy. And then it's tuned into the astrological, the cosmological, and the dark matter science that I can explain in very few words to whomever, to not spark curiosity about having to go prove theories we already know exists. What I need is my U.S. Department of knows how to shoot a gun because somebody trained them right, to walk around to anything in a foreign country that doesn't look, if your brother in front of you has some kind of degree in astrophysics or like NASA, they're building rockets, they're going to the Mars with a satellite, I want them executed. I hold on to my military trained that can follow orders and I can trust because they're somebody special to their parents and to me, because I hold all the units of skin in alignment. When I say that I have to keep my white leadership tight, yeah, there's a reason for that, because once you get out of white tight leadership with the money and business office, that I can't fucking help that we're all white. I can't. I mean, I have to have protection at the top, and currently my business office isn't even protecting me. In fact, they're going over my head and my arrangement with the planet, and they're lying to everybody, which caused even more problems on my way in. This is an ongoing rolling issue with Philip, Elizabeth, and Charles, and now they have new degenerates, let's call them, deplorables, whatever. Nobody cares in the exponents. I think that my kids in the us department that like when physics works for them, the healthful ones that I don't let machines tear through their skin because they're pissed that they're white or something else happened. See, I've got misfirings of like thought process, thought patterns, so not everybody's functioning properly. So I don't get mad, like, am I eliminating all the blacks in the world, all the Chinese in the world? Well, I'm not eliminating all the blacks in the world, I'll tell you that right now. Currently, the largest criminals in the majority has been the all-out, sell-out, blowout of Asia and their whole entire Polynesian problem that they personally misprogrammed, that I was trying to alert the good people at the Palace Business Office that runs out of London, and my good old Vatican down in Rome, of the one other white guy I can find on the planet that I love like a padre, which is why he's named that, in Pope, Holy Pope. And then there's, let's see, who else is on the planet that, right, no, nobody. We've got the single white guy who has a daughter he hasn't met yet, however that works, in the Holy Cat. And then we've got the Pope and my nemesis over in the business office in London of the protest church of the everything in London lies like a fucking rug. And the Pope doesn't like when I curse, but it's a function of whatever. So here we are, and we got some really good superheroes down in Italy, hiding out with the Pope where they're safe in a papal state of supremacy over the palace in London that keeps protesting because they're the ones that have all of the parliamentary parlor tricks of every evil organization on the planet running out of their outfit in the Sea of Tranquility being London. Right, yeah. Okay, so that's how that works. Then we've got, let's think about this. So now here's where I sit higher. I'm the atomic clock with my eyeballs, with my astrological timing mechanism that Nicklaus and I were simultaneously born, like two bolts of lightning is what we say. Two bolts of lightning will strike. That's how we were born. That's the Romanov double blackbird symbol. So, it's Rome, and then it's the world is the O, and then I'm V. And that's located, or at least it was, the palace office was located in Russia, named after my Rusa, with the German spelling in America, not to upset anybody in Western Europe, with the Eastern European spelling, and I think the placement of the second, the man that my electron transporter that I'm supposed to be with in order to have children, who I haven't had yet, since everybody keeps taking him away or making excuses why we can't be together. I mean, it's ridiculous. His eyes are just as important as mine. And then the rest of you work off of a quantum string that is broken because the Polynesian problem has grown. They know too much because I had to put Mickey Sticker Club documents to hold them off. Then I've got, like today, Israel says something with the United Arab Emirates. It's like, oh, really? It took you 42 fucking years, guys, really? While Asia's just advancing because they know too much. I told you they know too much. I can't tell you too much because now I don't want you to get in bed with them and then make my fucking world even worse. It's really, at this point, I'm like, where's my AK-47, dads? Like, I need rapid fire bullets. Not at the ambassador level, because I know that they try, but I don't even know if they're quantumly strung right. I had specific orders. I interviewed the candidates. I put them on Pelican Briefing. I said, if anybody gets to this level, this office, this is who they are. If there's anybody sitting in that seat because Philip put someone in, or Ling, I like Panda Bear, Cox, and the snort cocaine in private. Right? I weeded all that shit out. I'm like, there's going to be a lot of fucking misfits on the planet when I'm born. I don't need, the shitbags being placed in tactical, strategic spots inside the business office. I don't. I need my guys that are trustworthy to protect my United States skins to get me off the fucking Fidelis and to get me back to Osiris Project where I need to fucking be in order to fix the other gajillion problems with humans and the planet at the moment. But instead, I'm doing cameo shots like I'm a fucking movie star that I never fucking needed. I mean, I'm just like Ted Baker, whatever his real name is. I'm like, oh, fucking shit. But I saw this before, which is how the Pelican Briefing works. I mean, you don't even know how fluid time works. And I don't want you studying fluid time. What I want is AK-47 unit skins to go through the telecommunications and internet department. That's design studio. Yeah, I want the design studio, the astrological following of the moon, the sun. If they are not like my brethren, I could have given birth to them, but I had them adopted by another genetic mother, and so my son, when I have one of those today, that's really nervous. But I gave him a thing. I said, if those pieces of shit don't take you because you were born too proper, I said, when they get back to whoever they report back to, their commanders know to shoot them in the head for abandoning you or allowing you to be hurt. So that should seal up that deal at Airlock, HEIRLOCK, because I don't fuck around with you idiots. I know how you think. I've watched you. So there were pre-interviews, there were pre-selections, there were plans I needed in very specific spots to make sure that none of the fucking mental head cases that were already compromised in, some of you I could lock into birth dates, and your personalities don't change, your functions don't change, you are always just operator special like myself with your irises. Those are who I need to be in the departments I need, and those are the people that I need to lead over the other ones. I don't need people moving telecommunications. I don't need sequencing done. I don't need movie theater experts. If they're any other color, then I could have thrown them to another womb and they're still related to me somehow. If it's not looking like that in those departments, clear them out. AK-47 uniforms, no uniforms, I don't care. Start there. Then go down to the university levels because they've opened up learning institutions about mathematics, science, all sorts of shit, laboratory with chemicals and shit. I don't need them. I don't need them. I have a whole brand new system I'm waiting to roll out that's much more safe for everybody, but they've got everybody following the wrong leader and then arguing over stupid fucking shit. And they've never completed the most important task, which is me.